In Fauna, every royal turning 13 receives a unique gift from the goddess. One prince's luck ran out. Before the big event in Farnia's courtyard, he got no gift. Theodore Forn, third Prince of Air. Let's call him Theo, he's busy sparring with his maid. His maid's strikes hit harder, forcing him back. Layla, his personal maid, also went by Stain. Theo collapses, ending the session. He needs to rest for tonight's gift ceremony. Theo beamed, hyping up Layla's insane talent. Sword Master, Pro Cook, S-Rank Adventurer, and Domestic Pro, she's the perfect woman in every way. Layla thanks Theo and offers a hand up, but before he can take, a massive wave surges toward him. Layla yanked Theo clear, narrowly avoiding the soak. Fornia's second prince, Niels Florian, orchestrated this to flex his magic and little Theo. Niels smirks, reminding Theo that royals get divine gifts at 13. Why waste time training? Niels taunts baffle the Odin, but his massive fireball clears things up fast, arrogantly flexing his magic. He mocked Theo's training, calling swords useless against his powers. Noting a royal's gift reflects their true character. Hyped for Theo's worthless gift. Display over, Neil heads out, hyped for the ceremony. Theo clenches his fists, fed up with his brother's jabs. Layla hugs Theo, assuring him that if Neil's right about gifts reflecting personality, the O is about to get an insane gift. Her words fired up the O, giving him hope for the ceremony. That night, the royals gather in court. Theo was mocked for having no divine blessing. His outraged family questioned his royal blood. This was unheard of. Theo's face was pure dread. Things spiral as Neil erupts into mocking laughter. He's laughing to tears. King Goss, Fornia's fourth ruler, silenced the room and addressed them sternly. He asks if the disgrace was intentional. Goss banished Thea, declaring a son rejected by the goddess has no place in the castle. Niels pushes his father to execute the plan. King Gauss made his choice, for naming Theo Lord of the Dead. He shocks the room, igniting a frenzy of whispers. Theo challenges the ruling, but the king shuts him down. The land of death is a toxic, lifeless wasteland crawling with monsters. No place for humans. Why did Theo's dad send him here? The king shuts him down, branding him a useless failure. Those words cut deep. His father warns that the king's word is law, ordering Theo to pack for the land of death immediately. The verdict, instant banishment from the kingdom. Niels watches Jur mock Theo, bragging about his path to the throne, while Theo is left to rot in a desolate wasteland. Broken and defeated, O had accepted his grim fate. Next day, his carriage rolls out. Moving away, he waved one last goodbye to his family and friends. But his arrogant dad and selfish brother were gone. Back in the carriage, he realizes Layla's gone. He wished he'd said goodbye, then her voice rang out. She was right there. Lost in thought, Theodin reacts first. He spots Layla across from him and asks what she's doing there. Layla vows to stay by him, but he warns her not to throw her life away in the land of death. Annoyed, Layla reminds him she's his personal maid, vowing to follow him straight to hell. Theo asks if she's sure, and she nods with zero hesitation. He thanks her for coming, and Layla's thrilled to finally be alone with him. They keep joking as the carriage rolls on. Reaching the land of death takes days and multiple carriage swaps. Theophelp is on edge. Layla's presence steadied him. One question still haunted him. Why didn't the goddess give him a gift? He wondered if he even belonged in this world. Recalling his past life as a salaryman, trapped in a soul-crushing grind, his work days bled deep into the night. It bleeds into his home life, turning every day into a repetitive loop. He missed his favorite college civ builder, but work killed his free time. Adulthood is a grind. One day, his body finally collapsed. He wakes in a strange place as a smiling goddess welcomes him to the divine realm. Vesta introduces herself and drops the bombshell. Theo is dead. Theo was in pure disbelief as her words sank in. The goddess mourned his death, then cut to the chase. She offers him a second life in another world. Telling him not to question a god's motives, she sweetened the deal. Reincarnate for a unique power. He recalls his favorite building game, a power that makes this new world effortless. He wanted crafting powers. He requested the crafting power from his favorite Studentera game. Vesta grants his wish instantly. Theo wondered if he got no gift because he already had this power. Reincarnated as a prince, he'd stopped crafting and totally forgot. Leyland nudges the awake, signaling their arrival. He wakes up mortified on her lap, but but Layla tells him to relax. He fell there himself. She wanted to watch him sleep, but the coachman was losing patience. The coachman's fed up. He can't wait all day for them to get out. They burst out into a land of death. Theo expected no one, but the place looked hauntingly desolate. Worried about the freezing cold, Layla tells him not to sweat it. She jokes about sharing body heat, but Theo brushes it off. It won't be enough here. Layla's stung, and a rattled Theo realizes she's serious. She turned away. She missed this shot, but she'd have more chances to win him over. The O's first move, build a shelter. He smirked, remembering his crafting skill. Finally, time to use it. He tells Layla to chop the trees. She slices through them in a flash, leaving log piles. Theo's impressed, figures as much from an ex-adventurer. Leela asks about the logs, and Theo reveals he's building a house. They hauled the logs. Theo reaches the pile and triggers his ability. He's out of practice and never built anything this massive. He visualized the house's structural stability. The logs move on their own. Seconds later, a house stands before them. Shocked, Leela questions his power. He got no gift at the ceremony because Oxplain was his from the start. Beaming with pride, Layla pulls her master into a tight hug. He faceplants into her chest, gasping for air as she apologizes for getting carried away. They head in. Layla and Wonder are stunned by the house's flawless wood and stone interior. Theo enters the room to find a bare frame. He needs materials to craft anything. Layla offers her clothes instead. Activating his auto-craft, Theo whipped up a comfy cot. But that fix just created a new problem. Layla stood half-soaked in a thin nightgown. She lunges at Theo as he retreats. She stayed close, refusing to leave his side, even pinning him to the wall. Finally, the oar relented. They shared the cot. He scrambled up, rattled by her proximity. He couldn't escape it. Theo's trapped with Layla and out of options. Day 1 in the land of death is over. Theo realized Layla and his crafting were the only things keeping him alive. With her, he felt safe. That night, the house suddenly shook. Theo steps out to find a minotaur charging him. Clubs raised to strike. The club swings, but Layla yanks them clear as it slams the ground. Sword drawn, she faces the beast. She's livid it crashed her perfect honeymoon with Prince Theo. Layla's ready to slay the beast. Theo worried for a second, then remembered her power. He'd seen her crush these monsters before. He hated being helpless, sick of relying on her every time things got dangerous. Determinative act, auto Layla back off. He triggers auto craft. The Minotaur charges, smashing the house to splinters. Visualize your weapon. He instantly builds a massive wooden drop axe, blindsiding the creature. Theo slams his massive axe like a falling star, crushing the Minotaur dead. Theo was hyped. This was way better than he expected. Exiled from the capital and once lost, he finally found his path. Layla rushes in, hugging him tight, hyping his insane skills. Theo found his true calling, and he's hyped for the future. In this wasteland, his crafting skills let him live out his favorite childhood game. He turned to Layla and declared he'd found his purpose. She asks what he means. Theo confidently reveals he'll use his powers to rebuild the wasteland, transform the land of death. Fornia's northern frontier. Theo's first morning in the land of death begins. Their home made it possible. New day, and the owner plots his next move. Layla's whipped up a massive feast in the kitchen, pushing through this barren wasteland. One bite and Theo's taste buds explode. Layla apologized for the simple meal, made only from castle supplies. Still hungry, she offers him her share. Rations are low. Thea's first mission, find food. Layla pitches a farm. Theo agrees, knowing food will lure settlers to the wasteland. Breakfast over, they head out to work. Theo's hype died the moment he saw why. This was the land of death. The soil was completely barren. Layla reveals a rumor. An old disaster poisoned the soil with toxic air, and the kingdom failed to fix it. Unfazed, Theo triggers auto-craft. He crafts a stone hoe to till the soil. They teamed up to prep the field. They softened the soil and added fertilizer. Work's done, now they pray for a harvest. Exhausted, Orsted slumps onto the dining table. Farming was surprisingly tough. He knighted to pay. Layla warns the water's toxic, forcing them to ration their supply. Forget food and monsters. The O's next crisis is clean water. The land of death earned its name. That night, Theo and Layla shared a cot. Like always, he stands as she nears. She's already out cold, just moments after lying down. She earned her rest. She'd been up since dawn, cooking and outworking him on the farm. Feel inferior to Layla. He had to level up. Determined to outwork them, he finally rests. Arrested, Theo's warped back to the realm from his first death. Terrified he's dead again, Tim panics until God reveals she only summoned his consciousness. She bows, apologizing for the chaos. She couldn't give him a gift at 13, triggering his exile to the barrens. Autocraft prevents her from granting another skill. She warns multiple gifts burst hearts and explode bodies. She wouldn't stop saying sorry. Theo tells her to chill. He thanks him for the killer gift. Moved by his kindness, God's nearly in tears. Reaching for a hug, Theo wasn't feeling the goddess's chest and quickly put up his guard. The god stops dead, remembering something vital. She reveals a bar of god metal, surging with divine power. Forbidden for mortals, but she gifts it to him anyway. He asked if she was sure he could keep the treasure. The goddess shushes her favorite. This gift is for him alone. She added a bonus cheek kiss. Exiting, Theo fluster. Before leaving, she called the gift a blessing and told him to use it wisely. She wished him luck and vowed to always have his back. Typical Theo walking cot, the world's top groomer. Was it just a dream? Keisha felt too real to doubt. Something moved under his blanket. He yanks the sheets back. He catches Layla, the second groomer, investigating. He demands to know what she's up to. She felt something hard and went to investigate. Confused, the ogre's mortified to realize he's turned on. He says it's just a normal body reaction. That heart was the god nettle bar. Layla asks and Theochlorophite reveals it's a gift from the goddess. Outside, Layla drops the bad news. The OAS are stunned. Their hard-worked soil is back to barren wasteland. He knew farming this wasteland was impossible. Hold the result for later. He tells them new fertilizers, more tests. Theo felt hopeless, but his vow reignited his resolve. He grabbed the hoe, telling Layla to rest. She worked all day yesterday, now it's his turn. He told her to start sword training. Talking failed, they needed the right fertilizer, but he knew nothing about soil. The system pings, death soil is E-rank trash. Nothing grows without divine purification. The O watched the window, but Layla sees nothing. Why'd soil data just show up? He realized the goddess's keech was her divine blessing. He got back to work, purifying the soil for his crops. Clueless on purification, he pulls out the divine god metal bar. God-crafted material that grants tools divine power. Theo's got a plan. He snaps the handle off his hoe. Fuse it with the god metal. Forged a divine hoe. Weird name, but hitting the dirt triggered a blinding flash. Everything looked normal. His status window confirms it. The dirt is now divine soil. The goddess's favor ensures anyone here can grow massive harvests. The O'Grind breaks into a victory dance. He yells to Layla. The divine hoe cleanses the soil. Now they can finally plant crops. Layla lunged at Huckin to celebrate his win. To her shock, the elite easily towered over her. Even bold Layla is embarrassed by his agility. Theo credits Layla and the goddess for his new power. He thanks her through tears of joy. Layla finally hits her breaking point. Her mind exploded. They'd done it, the fields were finally fertile. Vester hits the bath, spying on Theo through her crystal ball. Athena arrives, questioning Vesta's obsession with Theo. Vester praises Theo's genius. He turned god metal into a hoe to purify the toxic land. Athena shrugged, bragging her hero outclassed Theo. Vesta teases Athena only recruits cute girls, proving she's a total lulakin. Athena says her heroes are just too cute, but she's no shodakin like Vesta. Mid-banter, Athena admits Theo's legit, sensing her cute hero in him. Connection's dead, but she's still glued to the crystal ball. Last night, Theo studied the kingdom's plans to retake the land. Toxic air only hits the surface. Deep underground is safe. The groundwater is safe to drink. Theo crafts an underground well and tests it. System confirms high-quality C-rank water. They toasted like it was wine and down the water. Water's secured. Now they just need to till, plant, and start growing. Tilling that much land was a nightmare. Layla brings water to the exhausted crew mid-task. She tells him to rest and takes the horde solo. Theo brings up her collapse, knowing the explosion wasn't just exhaustion. He made her rest. He warned her overworking is lethal, remembering his own death. Layla felt the weight. Theo still had no idea how to tell the land. And chose a tractor, but he's got zero materials. Layla overhears and suggests cattle or backup, since she's clueless about tractors. Her plan worked, nobody lives in this wasteland, and cattle can't survive. Layla uses OUIS Autocraft to farm human cattle, pulling a Full Metal Alchemist-style transmutation. Terrified, Theo admits he's too scared to try. Layla claims she's joking, but Theo knows she's dead serious. Theo thinks for a second, then it clicks. Layla's spark was a godsend. He'll craft what they lack. Layla suspects human transmutation, but he assures her that's not the plan. He'll make it a bag. A golem, he needs earth, stones, and a magic stone. Monster power used to fuel weapons, magic gear, and energy. Unable to provide, a saddened Layla starts undressing to compensate. Theo reminds her they still have the monster's magic stone. Stones and materials gathered. Theo autocrafts a golem. Stones fuse, awakening a massive rock giant. Layla stared at Theo's creation, bursting with pride. Theo gives the command, and it charges forward. The sudden charge caught Theo off guard. Instead of attacking, the golem hoists him onto its shoulder like a child. Layla jumps to protect Theo, but he insists the gong isn't a threat. Layla's jealous the golems favor Theo. Some claimed it had feelings, while others disagreed. She thinks his unique craft gave it feelings. Asha shifts to work, ordering the golem to till the soil. He grabs a hoe and works at breakneck speed. They tilled the land and sowed the seeds by afternoon. The golem rests while Theo and Layla eat. O felt satisfied and hyped for the months ahead. Next morning they're stunned, the crops grew overnight. Even off-season crops are thriving. Theo hadn't expected this fast harvest. The food crisis is finally over. Blessed soil grew massive crops overnight. He wants a taste. Layla checks for side effects, but the system confirms, top-tier quality, zero risks. They merge into one. Flavor explodes in his mouth. The juiciest, tastiest thing he's ever eaten. He doubted the tomato was even a vegetable. He tosses Layla one, hyping the taste. She tries it and is blown away. Theo thinks they'll taste better cooked and starts prepping the meal. Inside, Layla's cooking at God's speed, whipping up gourmet meals in seconds. First bite, pure paradise. Intense, fresh flavors leave them speechless, lost in the experience for minutes. Perfect ingredients and elite skill made these dishes legendary. Harvest settled, Theo heads out for the next task. He calls Gorm to check the materials. Gorm gestured to the rocks and logs it gathered. Layla asks the gall's name. Theo named it Gorm, and it loves the name. Layla checks the materials and asks what he's building. Piecing it together, she wonders if he's building a separate house just to escape her. Theo planned for it, but now water's available. He prioritized finding a place to rest. Activating Autocraft. He built a classic Ryokan-style outdoor bath. Bubbly soap and a custom sponge finally fulfill a long-held dream. He splits the baths and bolts to the men's side, telling Layla to meet him after. She stays silent as they part. Before soaking, Layla offers to wash Theo. He agrees and they pause. Eyes locked and Theo's panics. In the men's section, Layla argues separate baths are pointless. She boldly doubled down on her maid role, vowing to serve him fully. She leans in, mocking his hygiene to fluster him, but Theo demands she back off. Layla refused to obey, even as his servant. He questions their bond, so Layla asks if a little touching is wrong. Theo insisted she was out of line. Layla wins and scrubs him clean. They unwind in the hot springs as the night settles. Layla admires the stars, making Theo smile. He'd never seen a view like this in his past life or the capital. Grateful for this barren luxury, they weren't alone. A pointed-eared figure with a furry tail looms on the cliff. A fox squirrel bathes, captivated by hot spring steam, rarely seen by humans in this land. Theo woke early every day to spar with Layla. Post-training, he grinds in the muddy fields, harvesting nonstop until he's caught. Nightly reading with Layla gave him time to reflect and plan. Theo's life in the land of death was steady and fulfilling. One problem remained: he couldn't attract any citizens. Life was easy, but he aimed higher. Even with Gorm, 2 residents isn't enough to be a village. Enter his domain, and you're a citizen of the land of death. He hoped a wanderer would stumble by. Theo catches a faint sound from the fields. He's hyped. Did someone finally find his land? Theo's hype turns to terror as he faces a massive beast. He sensed a divine aura, identical to the goddess. Theo's confusion turns to terror when the beast speaks. Hearing a monster talk for the first time, its "don't be afraid" only makes him panic. She's Luna, a divine Fenrir wolf. Fenrir, the name triggers Theo's memory of the legendary godwolf, a beast rarely seen. Theo froze. How could he ever beat this beast? Luna asks if he missed her warning. She's not here for a fight. She transforms into a beauty, leaving Theo stunned. Wolf Lady apologizes for the surprise and asks for a favor. She asks him for spare veggies. Surprise, she's only here for that and senses zero threat. Theo agrees, pointing to the massive harvest and telling her to dig in. Hands her a tomato. He tastes it. Pure divine bliss. Flavor melts, overwhelming her with pure joy. She's never tasted anything this good in a millennium. A millennium ago, the air was pure and crops flourished, but they still couldn't match Theo's. A brutal war turned it into a toxic wasteland. Theo's shocked. The toxic air wasn't a disaster, it was war. He asks if she spent 1,000 years in the land of death. She nods. The O told her to move. Luna calmly claims this land as home. Desolate or not, she couldn't leave. She was glad Theo restored its beauty. She asks his name. He's Theoflorian. They thanked him for the food and kindness. No reward needed for the Theon's sister. Luna rejected the pain. Kindness was her soul. She lined in. Quiche kisses her forehead softly. She calls it a favor, a small thanks, and the only payment she can offer. A quick pat, and she admits she hasn't felt this happy in ages. Luna turns to leave, but Theo remembers her 1,000 years in the land of death and hatches a plan. He asked her to join his domain. Luna turned, stunned, then flashed a playful smirk. Asked if he's taming a Fenrir, Theo shuts it down fast. Luna laughs, pats his head, and admits it was just a joke. Blindsided by Theo's offer, Luna asks for time to settle personal matters before making her choice. Smiling, she promises a better gift next time. Tells him to expect it. Thea Blues pulls back as Luna shifts into her wolf form. She says her final goodbye and vanishes. Theo hides his meeting with Luna, fearing Layla's jealousy and how she might react. Next day, everything felt normal for Theo. Unaware his peace was about to shatter. Suddenly, a desperate woman stumbles into view. Begs for help, then collapses. Theo orders Layla to grab the medkit. Soon the women reach Theo's room. Lost and confused, she demands to know where she is. Theo's relieved she's conscious. Asked if she's okay. She's fine but dazed, asking who they are. Theo introduces Layla, explaining he found her right outside his house. Asha and the women are thrilled to meet the group. Theo asks why she's there. 5 words, let's try to make it even more punchy. Theo asks why she's here. I try to remember, but fear surges and my head starts throbbing. Theo insists she rest. He sends Layla to the castle for healing herbs. Potent medicine, perfect for healing injuries. Brewing these powerful cures took elite skill. Theo's auto-crafting pumps out powerful healing medicine effortlessly. Asha's stunned as Theo spawns a potion. She drinks it and her wounds vanish. Pain vanishes, his wounds erased instantly. Stunned by the potion's power, Asha asks if Theo's a wizard or alchemist. He shrugs, either works. She asks if Fornus is close. A fortress city holding back Deathland monsters. You clarified Fornus sat miles away from shocking Asia's death border. She strayed too deep into the wasteland, and the Theonautid confirms her fears. Devastated, Asha realizes she's lost with no move left. Panic hit if she didn't act fast. Everyone relying on her was dead. Heshas from Mo village in Veto territory. Days ago, goblins raided, and the defenseless villagers were easy prey. Goblins demanded food, then kept pushing for more. Villagers protested starvation, but the goblins made an even worse demand. They demanded every woman. Goblins breeding with humans leads to a total disaster. Villagers refuse, so the goblins threaten to execute them one by one. I should have led the search to help her people. Theo asks why she targets foreigners instead of Ito's lord. She already tried that. The lord rejects Asha's play, claiming he's too busy for a remote village. Thera remembered Batoa's tyrant lord, who bled his people dry and refused aid even during a famine. Her people need help. She thanks Theo and prepares to leave. She turns, but Theo stops her. He showed her a warehouse packed with supplies, proud of his emergency prep. Layla recognizes the stash, but Theo's motives are a mystery. Theo reveals a new autocrat sub-ability, a video game-style inventory. With a flick, everything vanishes into thin air, stripping the warehouse clean. Asha's stunned. Where'd the items go? Theo calls it magic. Stashed in his own dimension. He tells her to lead them to her village. Long journey, he's helping anyway. Theo, Layla, and Asha ride Gorm to Moe village. Hesha doubts Theo's choice, warning him of the danger while she fights to save the village. Ostid tells her to trust him. The goblins didn't faze him. Bravery surged through him. He recalls Luna's favor, wondering if it fueled his courage, and uses analysis to confirm. Fenrir's blessing grants him super leg strength, fearless willpower, and the power to make every wolf submit. Theo thanked Luna for the boost. Spike to the skull. Theo's blood boiled seeing the goblins' tormented villagers. He nearly snaps. Orm to charge the goblins is 7 words. Let's try. He orders Gorm to charge the goblins. Wait, he orders Gorm. He tells Layla and Asha to jump off Gorm on his mark. They leaped at OSQ. Jorm slammed the goblins like a wrecking ball, scattering them as Gorm charged like a pro wrestler. Midair, Theo autocrafts a landing pad. Safe landing, but Theo's caught awkwardly between Layla and Asha. Trapped in their curves, Theo flustered Asha. He backed off, flustered. Goblins swarm, ready to strike. Theo ordered Asha back. It's too risky. Thea ignored her protests and calmed her down, confident he'll save the village. His resolve sent Asha's heart racing. She blushes, flustered by her feelings for the younger guy. A new dynamic is born. Theo and Layla face the goblins. Layla draws her blade as Theo triggers Autocrat, summoning his inventory. Thousands of swords manifest instantly, channeling Gilgamesh's legendary aura. Layla shreds the goblins with surgical precision. With Theo, they crushed the horde, turning the area into a monster graveyard. Terrified and beat, the surviving goblins flee to warn their leader. Lee wants to chase, but Theo stops her. The villagers come first. Villagers swarm Theo, grateful for the save, demanding his name. Theo reveals he's the Fornicate Kingdom's 3rd prince and lord of the land of death. Asha and the villagers froze in stunned unease. Theo regretted being honest. Villagers hate nobles, and he should have hidden his title. Surprisingly, the villagers are hyped he's a prince. They thanked him for the save, but Theodown played it cool. Stay sharp, he heard the goblins reporting to their leader. Their den lay hidden in the forest. Back at base, the survivors report their failure to the chief. Goblins warned their leader, attacking that village is suicide. Rage the Goblin King one-shots a fleeing goblin, calling him a coward. He rallies the surviving goblins, vowing to put the humans in their place. Back at the village, Chief Galagmobile thanks Theo for the rescue. Theo shrugged it off, claiming he just did the right thing. But the chief insisted on a gift. He turns to the giant turtle. It's time for the ultimate plan. Layla's stunned. It's a rare, tough metal used for treasures worth hundreds of gold. A villager slams the chief for handing their sacred treasure to the royals, but Gallagher shuts him down instantly, demanding respect for Theo, their savior. He insisted royals would never risk their lives for commoners. Theo was scheming, manipulating the village to join his cause. Divided and whispering, the villagers clearly distrust the nobles. They're wary of Theosa, but Ashan Jervine stands by him. She reminds them Theo's different, a stranger who actually saved them. She tries to ease the tension. Villagers hail Theo's heroism, but his warning still lingers. Galad insists Theo take the gift, but he refuses their treasure. Chief reveals the village is doomed. Theo asked why the chief predicted such a dark fate. Chief warns of a goblin king lurking nearby, stronger and smarter than normal goblins. Rupert crushes minotaurs and giants. He knew the escaped goblins would bring back their king. The young flee while the frail stay behind. Jack defies the chief, refusing to leave anyone behind. The chief warns the elderly will only slow them down. Jack stood firm, vowing to slay the goblins himself rather than abandon a soul. Theo steps up, vowing to leave no one behind. Asha and the chief demand the plan. He reveals goblins are watching the village. Escape is impossible. They fortify the village and make their stand. Jack brooded alone, certain the royal was hiding his true motives. He remembers his father's lesson: strong men protect the village. Jack thought he'd step up and grow. No royal like Theo needed. Jack, no, I'll go with. Theo Eston traps Jack with an instant watchtower. Wait, let's make it more narrator style. He's stunned. Thea's running low and demands more materials. Chief lets him scrap tools and homes, as villagers donate materials to fortify the village. Jack fought on, regretting his trust in Theo. Theo summons magic walls to shield the village. Crafting drains them, the O collapse. Layla panicked, rushed, and suited up. He'd overtaxed his powers. Everfused gave his all to protect the village. His resolve started to waver just a little. Jack remembered freezing in terror as the goblins struck. They fought, leaving the village defenseless. Saved everyone, now he's shielding them again. Jack closes in on the company. He asks how to protect the village. Theo crafts a spear for Jack, the village's top fighter. If the defenses fall, he's their last hope. Jack grabs the spear, still distrusting the O. He's only doing this for the village. Theo thanks him, but Jack snaps back. He's no friend. Theo catches Asha staring and asks what's wrong. Startled, she denies staring, claiming she didn't even see him. Kids and seniors are out. She asks for orders. Theo assured her the villagers had everything handled. Villagers call, he waves to Asha and bolts. Asha stood alone, her feelings for Theo obvious. Suddenly, heavy footsteps thundered from the forest. The Goblin King leads his army to massacre the village. He mocks his minions' fear of a tiny village. He saw his chance to raid the village and seize women for breeding. Seeing the transformed village, his confidence wavers. Villagers armed with bows and spears. Fortified walls and watchtowers have the Goblin King on edge. He ordered the goblins to fall back. Leave quietly and you live. Advance and they strike instantly. He's fuming at the disrespect. The Goblin King orders the charge. Forced to act, Theo signals the villagers to attack. A massive force crushes the frontline goblins. Trembling goblins track the attack to the watchtower. Cannons smoked where they stood. He's at war with the goblins. More cannon fire blasted more enemies. Goblins reach the walls, climbing furiously. Villagers at the top block them with spears. Theory in play. Theo rallies the villagers to repel the invaders. The Goblin King rages. The resistance stuns him. He slashes the earth. A shockwave shatters the wall and topples the watchtower. Layla catches Theo's fall. He crafted a cushion to save the villagers. He ordered everyone to the shelter, and they bolted. The Goblin King watches the battle and marks Theo as the defense leader. Thinking his death ends the fight, Layla draws her blade, vowing the Goblin King won't reach Theo. He thinks she's weak, big mistake. The Goblin King marks her as Theo's main ally. He hit on Layla, obsessed with her power and beauty. She shuts him down hard, loyal to another. Rejected and enraged, he bets killing her lover will win her over. He orders his goons to grab her, but spare the face. Layla snapped, demanding his target. She unleashes her family style, shredding the incoming goblins. She charges the Dovland King, reading his next move. A goblin snatched her mid-swing. Goblins swarm, pinning Layla down. The Goblin King orders them to seize her. They turn to Theo, but Layla breaks free, shredding the goblins with ease. Challenging the Goblin King to face her. Ignoring her, he locks onto. Goblins swarm Theo, blocking her from the king. Layla sees the goblins' strength in numbers. Realizing her mistake, she rashly charges the king. He baited her away from Theo. She'd totally underestimated his smarts. She screamed at Theo to fall back. He promised Gorm could shield him from the Goblin King. She offered to bait the monster, but Theo refused. He warns retreating risks the village. He crafts a sword with his power and takes on the Goblin King solo. Mocking his pathetic resolve, Theo tests his resolve against the Goblin King. He yanks a massive stone from inventory. The Goblin King effortlessly swats it aside. OU charges through the watchtower ruins. He instantly forges a massive ballista using autocrat. He fires, but the goblin catches it effortlessly. Goblin King taunted asks if the games are over, bored of playing with kids. Sword raised, he demands Thea die. Thea knew that magic slash. The blade slams down, a shockwave tearing the ground. The Goblin King thinks the fight was a total letdown. He senses something behind him, totally confused. He's sure that kick landed. Theo loomed above, sword raised to strike. The O gambled. He autocrafts a 5-block earth platform beneath him. He dodges the Goblin King's strike on the blocks. He vaults the distracted Goblin King, seizing his chance to strike back. Theo's ready to show off his training with Layla. Using Layla's technique, he strikes the Goblin King's back. The sword shatters. Not a scratch on the monster's tough hide. The Goblin King punts a dazed Theo into a tree like a ball. Goblin King mocks Theo for that brief scare. Sharper blade needed. Battered and broken, Theo forces himself up to keep fighting. Goblin moves in for the crush, declaring checkmate. Jack bursts in, shouting. Spears the Goblin King's back. It snapped, startling Jack. Surprised Theo. Why did Jack jump in? Jack says retreating frontliners saw Lela wrecking the goblins. Theo faces the Goblin King solo. Thea snaps Jack shouldn't have come, but he fires back. She'd be dead without him. Furious, the Goblin King calls Jack a Muripon, raising his blade for the kill. Theo shields Jack from the Goblin King's strike. The Goblin King senses their soft hearts. Theo was the target all along. Too late, Theo couldn't dodge. That trick won't work twice. Luna the Fenrir lady pats Theo's back. Pledging help, Fenrir favor triggers, supercharging Theo's legs with a power burst. Theo dodges the Goblin King's blade with his new speed, blindsiding the beast. Theo's blunt sword didn't faze the Goblin King. Theo weighs his next move, remembering Chief Galad's gift, the village treasure, a rare metal called chalcum. He autocrafts a sharp sword, stunning Jack. He remembered the chief calling this metal their guardian deity, built to protect them. Gilad was right. Theo unleashes the Orchilcom sword and Layla's family technique. Gotland King is wounded, stunning Jack as the beast crashes down. Victorious and spent, he collapsed. Jack snags him, praising him. Theo Jack did great too. They trade a fist bump. They rushed to the shelter. Theo gave the all clear. Overjoyed, Asha pulls them into a tight, tearful hug. Layla hesitated to step in. Isha breaks down as Theo comforts her. He said it's over. Leifelt was jealous. That night the village toasted victory. He's suddenly pinned awkwardly against Asia's chest. Wondering how, Layla's glare rattles Nisha, who immediately accuses her of intimidation. Layla pulls Theo away and offers food. Aisha countered, sparking a silent rivalry. Chief laughed at their hype and Theo's plea for help. He wouldn't ruin the fun. The village is beaming, all thanks to Theo. He joked about their lord's death daily. Inspired, Theo heads out. He built a stool and climbed up to address the villagers. He invited them to join his kingdom of death. They hesitated, knowing its reputation. Theo's reclaiming his power, but he needs their help. Jack's all in. Skeptical at first, he now dares the doubters to stay behind. Aisha and the chief jump in. Demand the truth. More villagers rally, hands high for Theo. Their new lord gives them another reason to celebrate. That night, the villagers partied until dawn. Theo packs the gear and the elderly into his inventory, leaving Gorm to haul the wagon as they set off. Half a day later, they reach Theo's barren domain. A lone house in a barren field. Sensing their unease, O acts. He pulls the villagers' homes from his inventory, auto-crafting them together. His and Layla's settlement plan. He built temporary houses, planning to upgrade later. A village rises fast. Aisha was a total mystery. Layla saw it fit the O's vision perfectly. Theo collapses from the strain of instant construction. He wakes up back home. His stamina was trash. Aisha, I'm in peak form. She checks in, flustering Theo. Layla's training Aisha to be a maid. Saw her potential. She smacks Ashley for skipping the master title, clearly jealous. Theo tells Aisha to drop the formalities. It's just too weird. He worries the villagers will hate their new home. Layla points to the window. Theo sees their pure joy. Esh's report confirms their hype. Theo relaxed, relieved his people were happy, planning his next move with the new citizens. Back in the Fornia capital, King Goss hails Alice Scarlet's latest feat to Scard. Alice shrugged it off, just hero work. The king says the goddess would approve, earning a sarcastic thanks from Alice. Sama and Martina are tense, warning her to watch her mouth around the king. The king threw a feast, inviting his son Theo. He hesitated, remembering their bond. He thanked Alice for putting up with Theo and told her not to worry anymore. Confused, Alice learns about Theo. Deemed talentless and forsaken, he's exiled to the land of death. Probably dead. Furious, Alice swings Gripter, hunting the king. Santa shuts her up, nervously blaming Alice's fatigue to end the talk. San ditched the party, dragging Alice away with a quick excuse. Outside, Alice demands answers. Why did Sana stop her? Santa called her reckless. Killing the king spells doom. Alice is fuming over Theo's banishment. Sana demands respect for the king, but Alice denies any feelings, swearing Theo isn't her future husband. Theo's banished to the land of death, and Alice demands they ditch the capital. Done with the royals, he's cutting ties. She's leaving, but Neil appears. Flexing his crown prince title, he mocks Alice's divine status, calling her a commoner and demanding respect. Alice walks away, but Neil stops her cold with a shocker. He wants her as his partner. He used the prince's disappearance and Theo's exile to claim the throne for himself. He needs the public to trust Alice to help him rule, claiming it saves her from endless monster battles. Alice mocks Neil's ego, laughing as she lists her reasons. He questioned his crown. She lived to protect. She rejected the arrogant fool. She'd always back Theo, blaming Neil's for his exile. He's a target just like the king. Alice's words make Neil's snap. They rushed to report Theo's fame. He blasts magic, mocking Theo's worth. Neil's massive power left Martina stunned. Alice asks if this is his gift. Neil's flexed his great sage power. Infinite magic and elemental mastery, he's truly unmatched. Alice scoffed at his ego. He demanded submission. He unleashes a lethal jigger fire. Alice shreds the fireball effortlessly. He notices Neil's zero training. She decks him before he can react, sending him tumbling. Livid, Neil's vows revenge for the prince's assault. Alice handed the job to Martina. Alice's reckless move healed Neil's instantly. Alice mocks Neil's, questioning her crimes and when he swore revenge. She forced him to journal his rejection and defeat. Pushed to the edge, Neil swore to break Alice and Theo, but Alice just smiled, marking his words. Lead Sana and Martina out. He's hunting Exiled down right now. Theo autocrafts farming tools. Farmers thank Theo for the help. He shrugs it off and wishes them well. He asks Layla for more work. She points to the broken village waterways. Asha brings a basket of requested sandwiches for the whole crew. Theo thanks her. The land of death now buzzes with life as everyone helps rebuild. Hyped, he used their help to upgrade the land. Alarms blare. A giant wolf is raiding the village. Theo spots the wolf and charges, while the villagers arm up. The wolf begs them to disarm, insisting she's no threat. They arrived, thrilled to find Luna. Relieved to finally see him. Smoke's whirled. Luna shifts into human form. She pulls Theo into a tight hug. She calls him reliable, betting he'll narrowly escape. Theo admits his struggles and asks why she's here. Luna wondered if she forgot to mention the better gift promised for their next meeting. Theo doubts her motives in the light. He tenses as Luna touches his chin. She leans in for the kiss, but gets cut off. Layla blocks the blade meant for Luna, ordering her to stay away from Theo. Luna clocked Layla's obvious hate. Layla accuses Luna of stealing Theo's priceless cache, demanding punishment. Luna mocks Layla's judgment and dares her to act. Theo calls Luna a Fenver heat mat, but Layla recognizes the Rupert thieving wolf. Tensions flare, forcing Luna to explain. Luna stops teasing and breaks down her keys. Renew her Fenmer favor. Passed via forehead kiss. Theo's body can't handle the strain, so she uses quiche to deliver the power in small, steady doses. Unconvinced, Layla asks if those are Luna's final words. Theo begs her to stand down, but Layla screams Luna defiled him. Luna finally clocks Layla's jealousy. Layla denies it, blushing hard. She claims she protected Theo, but Lafayette still lost Theo's first kiss. He wants a favor in return. Stunned, Theo and Layla grill her. Luna reveals Layla can grant Theo her favor. Layla doubted power sharing was possible, but Luna confirmed it. Layla's sword strikes pack superhuman power. Luna reveals that rare humans with divine favor can transfer their power. Layla shares hers with the O. Luna agreed, demanding a kiss since they're both human. He rushed Layla, not caring who went first. Theo interrupts, questioning their assumptions about Kishlela. Luna asks if he objects. They stressed no reckless moves. Layla's feelings were on the line. Layla was ready to quiche Theo anytime. Luna teases her hype, while a blushing Asha questions a public kiss. Theo tells Layla no pressure, but she truly wanted his love if he'd have her. Layla's hands shake while Theo hesitates. He warns it's his first quiche and might suck, but rookie Layla doesn't mind. Gently touching your cheeks, he lands a clumsy kiss, wondering if he pulled back his star transfer. Layla's silence leaves him baffled. She collapses, leaving him stunned. Everyone stunned except Luna. She cracked up. Layla was hilarious. Luna grins, she's next. He waited for Layla's favor to settle so Theo wouldn't snap. Plans ruined, she moved on. He calls the kids forward as wolves close in. Barking a hello. Theo shocks them, asking about the wolves. Luna reveals they're fender pups for him to raise. Not hers, it's her sister's. She teases Theo, asking if he thinks she's taken to prove she's single. O ignores Luna's warnings and takes the rare pups, dismissing the danger entirely. Theo pats a pup, assuring Luna they're welcome. His snap decision stuns her. Luna blushes, thanking Tim. He tells the pups to thank Theo, their new caretaker. Pups worm Theo, licking him until he's buried in fur. A week later, the pups are vibing with the villagers, playing with kids, eating, and farming. Asha feeds them, but Theo's overwhelmed by affectionate licks. O felt watched, hit by a sharp sting of jealousy. But one pup stays back, hiding from his gaze. Luna arrives, telling a drush the putch is just shy. She stuns Theo, appearing suddenly in a killer new outfit. Luna wants to show some skin, but Theo warns it's not village appropriate. She just smirks, teasing that he's secretly jealous of the attention. Theon asked about the pub's history. Luna reveals it's the youngest. She recounted how her sister died right after giving birth. Theo stunned. Luna reveals the pup never knew a mother's love. Luna tried, but admitted she could never replace the pup's mother. Leaving the pup shy and distant, Theo finally understood. Luna clearly wasn't finished. The Acutin offers to befriend the pup. Luna was stunned into silence. Theo's offer stuns him. He fears he overstepped. Luna's smile reassures him. He's exactly who she wanted, and she's thrilled to be on his land. Theodown proved his worth. Luna blindsides him with a firm quiche. Blindsided, Theo struggles as Luna seizes his chin. Luna pulls back, leaving a flustered Theo demanding to know what she's doing. She's just returning a favor they both forgot. Luna tasks Theo with watching the shy pup. Theo doubted his power but swore to give it his all. Odin hesitates, then invites the youngest pup to play. It scampered off, keeping its distance. It didn't run far. This thing isn't scared. Theo starts tag and volunteers to be hit. The pup caught on, barks and bolts playfully. Grinning, Theo chased the pup through the village. Small but lightning fast, the fender pup is a blur. He senses its fennel nature. The Agat gets serious, unleashing his autocrat skill. Summons an earth wall to block it. He lunges for it. The pup vaults the walls in tears across the rooftops. Theo spammed walls to stall the pup, but it always escaped. Theo gains the edge. The pup couldn't hide that grin. An hour later, Theo's gasping for air. The pup froze, barking and grinning, tail wagging. It's loving the chase. The Oblighted declare the real game starts now. The chase resumes until the pup slips off the roof. Theo spots the danger and instantly triggers autocrath, making a trampoline below. Fenmer Favor launches him off the trampoline, snatches the pup midair. He crafts a cushion to land safely. Landed safely. Theo brags he caught the pup. The Fenrir pup barked, pouting in annoyance. Theo's ready for round 2. Luna appears, hyped the pup finally likes him. He's a natural fennel charmer. Theo insisted he and Puzzle were just friends. Luna beamed, watching them cuddle on the cushion. Soon, Theo names a nameless Fenrir pup soak and starts playing. Luna lets Theo name them all, and he's hyped to be their godparent. Inspired, Theo watches Layla train the villagers. She tossed them like ragdolls during drills. He pushes the recruits to improve, mocking them every time they fall. Theo felt uneasy about his maid's harshness. So far, the village stayed safe from monsters. A few approached Layla and the soldiers. Gorm shut them down. O'Neill couldn't drop his guard. To protect the village, he used autocrath to build massive walls. Theo's itching to finish his new weapon, but he's short on materials. Bath finished, he heads back to his room. Please, he built the sauna everyone loved. The villagers' joy was infectious, but Gorman was the real surprise, who knew a golem would love the sun this much. Layla enters Theo's room. He praised her village training grind. Layla nervously thanked him. Theo grows worried. She's been acting cold since the kiss and faint. Layla apologizes for that moment. That cocky rush wasn't a mistake. Layla steps forward, revealing she's mentally trained to never faint again. Layla grabs Theo, asking to renew her favor. Theo's baffled as she echoes Luna's rule, settle small favors before big ones. He spots Lael shaking. Theo saw her effort and told her to slow down. He had to show her he cared. Layla snapped. She'll strike fast and pin the blame on Theo. Before explaining Lela caged him. Theo's overwhelmed as she keeps kissing him. She eases him onto the cot. She poured her heart into relentless Casia's. Zero hesitation. Morning hits and Theo's wiped. Layla's fired up, jumping right back into training the villagers. Theo inspects the crops. He spots a stranger asking to taste the vegetables. One taste and the beastman shouts in French, "It's delicious." He praises the sweet, juicy veggies and offers to buy them. Intrigued, they approach him, distracted by a nearby Fenrir pup. The stranger mused over the pup's fur value. Furious, the Akan confronts him, demanding his friend's fate. Ask who he is. Lauren from the Bastia company introduces himself, then suddenly pulls out a brush to grab a sample of the pup's fur. Jack lands on Gorm's back and calls Lauren a trespasser. Lauren swore he was innocent. Lauren found farming in the barren land of death suspicious and moved in to investigate. Gorm's presence signaled a master alchemist lived there. Lauren's fascinated by the village and dives in to explore. Theo traps Lauren in a magic cage. He detains him to figure out his plan. Lauren's actually impressed, marveling at the cage's unique magic and texture. Seeing Gorm the Fenrir, the crops, and Theo's magic, Lauren calls the village a utopia and a treasure trove. He thanked the gods for his luck, but Theo grew suspicious of Lauren's true motives. Suddenly, villagers burst in with a warning. 10 earth dragons hit the village in 20 minutes. Theo froze. 1 earth dragon was already enough. 10 at once, unheard of, even in the land of death. Warren wonders if the earth dragons are hunting him for invading their nest. They piece it together fast. Lauren admitted the dragons are tracking him. Theo stunned. This intruder didn't just break in, he led a monster horde straight to their doorstep. Theo wondered what other chaos this guy would cause. Wingless but unbreakable, earth dragons are the sturdiest of their kind. Theo's shocked Lauren lured monsters home, but Warren swears it was an accident. He just peeked at their nest, never expecting a chase. He bragged about outturning them, calling the chase a game of tag. Earth dragons are usually peaceful farm animals, so why are they suddenly hunting Lauren? Theo suspected Lauren wasn't the whole story. He ordered Lauren to stay caged while the village fought the dragons. Warren begged not to be left. Meanwhile, the villagers are led to an underground shelter. 10 earth dragons sparked absolute terror. Hisha reassured them, claiming this village's defenses far outclassed their old home. Their soldiers train daily, and she trusts Theo's team to defend the village from the walls. Prep starts. Theo spots earth dragons entering cannon range. Luna steps in to help. Theo thanks her but tells Leela to hold back. Sending the elites now was too dangerous. Unsure how much that toxic air buffed the monsters. He'd also test if cannons could stop them. Firing up the troops. A villager screams, the earth dragons are out of range. Theo orders his troops to ready their fire on his signal. Cannons roar as one. Cannonball sword slams the monsters. The earth rattles. Theo breathes easy, direct hit. Earth dragons surged forward, undeterred. Theo stunned, the beasts didn't even slow down. He doubted their resolve. Soldiers panicked, their cannons were useless. Theo hesitated to call Layla and Luna, fearing the armor was too tough or things would go south. Theo's unfinished weapon could slay dragons, but it lacked the elite magic sight to function. He's gotta harvest it from a dragon. Lauren unleashes the dragon majesty Theo needed. Theo's shocked he's out of the cage. Curiosity fueled Lord's escape, desperate to embrace Theo's gong. Theo pressed him on his magic sight. Lauren flashes it. He flashed a certificate to prove it's legit. Theo's appraisal already confirmed it's legit. But why did Lauren have it? Lauren's sheer planned to trade it to elves for profit. Thea's confused, so Lauren drops rumors of northern elves and a village in the land of death. He hunted them for a payday, but the village stayed a myth. Lauren saw a gold mine in Theo's village and went all in. Thea card is everything. Check Lauren's magic site for more videos like this. Theo saves the village and signs an exclusive deal with Lauren's Bastia company. Lauren sets the terms. He expected hesitation, but Theo agreed instantly. The magic site was their only hope. An outsider could save the village, but he still didn't trust Lauren. Theo saw massive potential in the deal. Warren's stunned. He shakes Theo's hand, sealing the deal. He underestimated the O's resolve. Lauren surrenders the magic sight. He's stunned it fits Theo's new magic cannon perfectly. One look at that magic weapon, and everyone's wondering about its power. Theo skips the tests and demands immediate use. It easily outclassed regular cannons. With one click, the magic cannon fires, slamming a light blast into the earth dragons. Huge blast hits Gulf Theria. The blast stunned everyone, even Lauren. Clearly impressed. Its power stunned the O too. A villager confirms the earth dragons are wiped out. Celebrations erupt. Asha and the villagers hear the cheers. They finally felt safe. The dust clears. Wyverns swarm out. Theo glares at Lauren, and she realizes he's innocent. If not Lauren, what was stirring in the land of death? Magic cannons on cooldown, and standard shots won't stop these wyverns. Layla and Luna step up. Itching for battle, they claimed their moment and stared down the wyverns. Layla hasn't fought dragon-like creatures in ages, and Luna's overdue for a workout. Good thing he kept them close. He told him to hold off the waverings without overdoing it. The magic cannon recharges in 10 minutes. He ordered more cannons prepped. Warren panics, asking if Thea realizes how many wyverns are coming. He told them to run. Layla and Luna told him to chill. He'll slay every wyvern in 10 minutes. They dove off the wall. Luna's hands morph into Fenrir paws. Layla draws her blade. Lauren's warned, wyverns are lethal in the air. Shark claws, teeth, and fire breath. He points out their edge, an elite adventurer and a Fendra. Layla and Luna shred the wyverns. They boasted they were the village's strongest warriors. Study, watch, strike. The last weverage drop like dead insects. Luna's annoyed this took way too long. Layla slays one more wyvern than Luna. We whispered about Layla's competitive streak. She didn't care about being his wife. Layla panicked, yelling they weren't even together. Luna griped about fighting more weapons while holding back. Layla demanded an explanation. More distortions closing in from another side. Total insight. Even Luna senses something's wrong in the land of death. They're too far to reach the village in time. Panicking Theo orders the regular cans to fire. But they couldn't touch the flyers. Magic cannons still not ready. The thought was lost, but a juror stepped in to take over. One swing and she effortlessly cleaves the wyverns in half. Everyone as stunned, especially Theo. You recognize her move. She faces Theo. Been a while. Alice finally reveals herself after searching for Theo. Theo asks why she's here. She heard he was banished and figured he'd be lonely. Thea Clarify wasn't crying, he just thanked her for caring. Alice denies being worried. Layla and Luna arrive, curious about that massive attack. Layla froze, stunned by Alice's arrival. Alice was just as shocked to see Layla. Lay thanks Alice and heads for the O. She takes the fall for the failed wyvern hunt and starts stripping down to pay the price. Uhuri Lee stops her, she's done enough. He tells Layla to get dressed. Lunar pulls Theo into a hug. She playfully demands a reward. She hugs Theo, thanking him for saving everyone. Alice froze, two more girls stood with Layla. She scans the area, spotting a bustling village. Her plan to comfort Theo shattered. Alice collapses. Theo asks what's wrong. Next, she hits the village hot springs. She growled that her simple life with Theo was dead. Martina's fed up with Alice's whining, but San hustler. Alice's journey to the land of death crushed her hopes, and Theo's too busy farming dragon loot to see her. The girls were stunned to find a relaxing bath in this land of death. Marina calls it the ultimate surprise. No one expected an exiled prince to have this much talent. Alice wasn't surprised by Theo's autocraft. She finally reveals he was born with the gift. She remembered his childhood secrets. Thinking the secret was out, she finally relaxed. Layla arrives, stunned. Alice knew Theo's secret all along. Alice sees Layla's reaction. She had no clue. Layla brags she's Theo's favorite, while the crew laughs at her immaturity. Bathing's over and the three girls get caught. The Orivd arrived, looking the part. Alice asks if the materials are ready. Thea confirms, and the girls are stunned by the massive haul. Alice expected the land of death to be rich, but Theo's too exhausted to celebrate. He asks about the outdoor baths, and Alice says they're great. Alice eyes Theo. He's grown since they last met 2 years ago. She expected him to be down, but he was bursting with life. Theo feared banishment, but the land of death was a genius move. Alice looked way healthier in Marquis than you did back in the capital. Theo noticed Alice was even more stunning. She flushes, scolding his cocky new attitude, but Theo insists he's just being honest. Santa cuts in, saying Alice is just shy. Hearing Theo was banished, Alice panicked and raced to save the man she loved. Alice slaps Renaud right in the face. Santa silences her and tells Theo exactly how Alice messed things up. Ignoring Alice's pleas, Santa reveals she even punched Needles. Marina and a stunned Alice went to extremes. She knew Alice loved Theo, and he felt the same, fully aware of the risks to her. Alice snapped, losing control over Neil's mocking theory. Theo blushed, took Gallus' hand, and thanked her for defending him. Alice blushes, asking why he's holding her hand. Marina and Santa cheer, pushing Alice toward Kasham. Alice locks eyes with Theo. She's dead serious. Suddenly, Lauren appears, demanding their attention. Theo froze, shocked to see him tied up. Theo demanded to know what happened. Lauren says the village blames him for luring the dragons and demands he pay up. Lauren pivoted, pitching a bulk sale of dragon loot to Bastia. Allison snapped, shouting about the price of dragon loot. Scales for armor, claws for weapons, and dragon blood for potent medicine. Lauren's already calculated. Tipped and dumped in Abacus. He finishes the figures with his foot. He paid up for the materials. Alice trembles that cash buys mansions, but Lauren says it's not enough. Theo's only selling half. Alice is stunned. He's got way more loot than he can actually use. Lauren offered more, but Theo took the standard rate for a trade. Thea spent the remaining funds on materials. Warren's stunned. He didn't think a kid like Theo knew money was worthless in the land of death. Lauren agrees. Theo demands iron. Alice's stomach growls, killing the conversation. Blushing, she admits she hasn't eaten a bite on her way to Theo. Theo's starving too. The food looked ready. Lauren asks and Theo invites him to a dragon meat feast. Theo raises his mug, kicking off the victory feast. The crowd roars. Asha and Layla arrive, serving the banquet's main course. They served dragon meat feasts, looking more like treasure than food. Villagers drooled, hungry for a taste of dragon meat. Theo took the lead, digging in first. Eyes sparkling, he praises the flavor. Stuck on veggies in the land of death, this meat hits different. Alice worries, is the meat even safe? This Deathland's toxic air poisons the dragon meat. Theo purifies the poison with his divine hoe, making it safe. Alice notes only he'd use human meat. Theo pushed a hesitant Alice to taste the meat. She bites and freezes. Soaring wyverns snatched them up. The rich flavor overwhelmed her. She was stunned by its perfection. Theo credits Layla's May team for the dish success. Alice probes for team info. Layla grills the maids, only keeping the elite. Theo realizes they're tougher than actual soldiers. Night falls and the Fenrir pups join the feast. Lauren honors Luna with a pricey bottle of wine. Hishik get tops off the drinks. Everyone's vibing at the Asat. Alice teased his serious face, joking he'd stay short without more food. She tries feeding him. Layla stops her, warning Alice she won't grow without rest. Alice snaps at Layla, don't ruin her moment with Theo. Layla hands Theo dragon stew, ignoring her. Alice clings to Theo, snapping at Layla to back off. Layla yanks Theo away, claiming she's shielding the prince from pests. She'd already won his heart. Alice snaps, demanding the truth and calling them shameless while Theo tries to explain. Alice gets the favor system, but she's still mad, especially involving a beast woman. She claims she's fine being reduced to Co-2. Theo turns beet red. Layla aims a butter knife at Alice's throat, forbidding. Alice challenges Layla. Layla scoffs, calling the fight a child versus an adult. Alice mocks Layla's surrender with a sarcastic thanks. They bicker over maturity, crushing Theo between them. Fed up, the O barked for them to stop. Jack and Villager guarded the walls. Villagers wanted more action. Jack warned them to stay alert. Isha arrives with food, thanking the team for their hard work. Villagers hailed her as their goddess. She invited Jack, but he refused. He breaks into a sweat, spotting something strange. Stunned, Jack orders Isha to warn them immediately. She hits the banquet. Another monster is closing in. The stunned asks what it is. Asha confirms it's a single monster. The Athought one was a relief, way easier than a dragon horde. Asha reveals it's a mountain-sized turtle. The sweating old man couldn't handle a calamity-class monster. Using his autocrat skill, he crafts an iron-glass whiteboard and a marker from raw materials. Santa's shocked, the pen flows without needing a dip. Martina marvels as the writing magically vanishes. She named it the magic pen. Santa agreed, and OASD started the meeting. Santa apologizes and gets straight to the adamant turtle. A calamity-class monster is closing in on the village ETA, noon. Santa says the name fits. The adamant turtle is a massive fortress. Swords and cannons can't scratch its shell, and its rapid healing makes it like fighting a mountain. Santa's monster sketches are weirdly cute, but she warns that Alice, Lella, Luna, and the magic cannon can't even scratch the turtle. Her drawings of the trio look straight. She explained the turtle's mana blast, but her sketches were so cute the group joked about getting hit. Sana wipes the plans, calling the turtles attack their opening. The crew groans while Santa stands there baffled. Theo urged her on. San reveals the monster is only vulnerable mid-attack. She plans to blast the magic cannon down its throat, her sketch showing the turtle exploding from within. She insisted, strike from within to win. Alice saw Sona loves cute things, but merc work made her numb to gore. Thea had to bait the turtles into attacking first. Son agrees but warns the cannon might fail and orders the village evacuated. The turtles' strike levels the village. Theo tasks the maids with the evacuation and orders the soldiers to prep defenses. Everyone strikes. Theo sets a trap to stop the beast. He uses excavated earth to stash the ground in his inventory, creating a pitfall. He set spike traps for the turtle and fortified the village walls, turning them into a massive wall. Fires one last off-white, drains his mana and collapses. Hanuking wakes at dawn, shocked to find himself on Alice's lap. She let him rest there to avoid aches from the hard ground. She beats Layla at rock, paper, scissors and claims the privilege. Allison makes him rest after all his hard work on the trap. The Essene's exhausted, so Alice offers her lap, telling him he's done enough. Theo tries to work, but Alice taps him, demanding rest. She chewed him out for pushing too hard, warning him it killed him in his past life. Feeling guilty, apologized for always relying on her. Alice shot back. Theo helped her most. OASD wins. How? Alice calls him dense. She remembers gaining hero powers at 8. It changed her life. Hero powers choose the worthy, regardless of status. Diner girl Alice is stunned to become a hero. Her life flipped the moment she was taken to the castle as a kid. She survived brutal training with adults. Her trainer beat her, screaming she must slave for the kingdom. Every powered hero joined the castle program. Alice masters the blade, magic, and tactics. Forget training, this was brainwashing to mold her into a living weapon hero. Alice wanders the castle halls. Whispers spread, stay on the hero's good side. Did they realize her super hearing caught every whisper? Alone in the garden, she cursed the heartless castle. No kindness here, only hero worship and fake flattery. She realized nobody had used her real name since she arrived. To them, she wasn't a person, just a hero and a tool. She remembered serving happy crowds at her parents' diner as a tavern juror. She wept silently, longing for home. She remembered Theo, the man who pulled her through. He was the first to use her real name and offer a handkerchief for her tears. Alice saw the human, not just the hero. Too shy to speak. She had to thank him. He saved her true self. Theo downplayed it, calling her his only friend. Alice joked. She mastered the sword, but he mastered loneliness. Theo countered. His mother was still in Galen. Alice turns serious, proposing a move before they face the turtle. She brings up last night's favor. Shyly asks Theo to share. Stunned, Theo struggles to react. Blushing, he asks if she knows how favor transfers. Alice nods, warning him not to get the wrong idea. She only helped because she'd feel guilty, letting Theo die without her. She asked if he'd refuse. He admitted he thought she'd said no. Alice slices space and tells him to hush. Non-stop, she lined in and crushed him. Teeth slammed together. Alice persisted, retaught him even more carefully. She pauses, then kisses him again. Theo's got Keisha's 3 girls. Caught Alice blushing. Mocking the single viewers, she calls Theo a pervert for blushing. He fires back that she looks like a boiled octopus. Alice insisted it's just a favor, nothing more. Theo shyly thanked her. Alice hesitates, then admits the lie. She leans in and her touch flusters him. Alice confesses she's always dreamed of this moment with him. Theo blushed hard as Alice stood, calling it a day. She'll finish this after the battle. Theo questions her meaning of continue. Alice demands he survive or face her fury, fueling his resolve. Theo swore they'd win together, and Alice beamed. The village gates became Titan-proof walls. Layla praises Theo's power, but Alice gripes he's overworking. Theo's response: they're up against a calamity-class monster. He tells Martina to upgrade the magic cannon. Martina geeks out over the magic cannon, while Theo fanboys over the tech. He broke her focus, catching the mage off guard. He checked the upgrade status. Martina upgraded range, blast, and reload speed per Theo's orders. She overdid the upgrades, boosting the cannon's shard capacity. Theo thanked her. Martina warns the boost could explode, but Theo admits she built a risky weapon. He thanked her, calling the cannon vital for the fight. Martina blushed, shrugged it off, and slipped away. Theo sensed her dodging. Luna shows up, teasing Theo's playboy ways. Theo thinks everyone's nice, but Luna calls him clueless. Theo thinks everyone's nice, but Luna calls him clueless. She asks if he's good or needs her to step in. Theo brings up Layla's jab at Luna's weakness. Luna warns that using her divine power will only attract bigger trouble. He ordered Luna to guard the village, claiming only she could do it. Luna asked why. She pales seeing the massive wheeled house. The bunker can't stop the adamant turtle, so Theo built a mobile base. He tells Luna to secure it. As the turtles strike, she accepts, knowing only she can handle the job. She swore to protect the villagers, as requested. "Ah, thanked her." Yurin arrived, reading the adamant turtle. Theo's nervous, San gets it. They're facing a calamity-class foe. Why did this peaceful beast suddenly attack? Adamant turtles only strike when provoked. Sana reveals Martinez's discovery. Martina eyes the wyverns. Found traces of mind control. Theo's shocked. Santa suspects the earth dragons and adamant turtle are also enchanted. Theo realized his village was a deliberate target. Sana notes mind control needs massive mana and rare items. It takes world-class wealth. The adamant turtle drained their resources. Sana knew more beasts were coming. This might be their last monster battle. Sana speaks and the recalled boss attacks. His heart wasn't racing from fear, it was pure excitement. He won't admit it, but he's itching for the clash. The massive turtle stomps toward the village. Magic cannon blasts Orsted, ready to hold the beast first. The ground shatters under the turtle's weight as they roar. Falling onto spikes. Ochiard's trap worked. He signals the cannons to fire. Cannonballs blast the trapped turtle. Theo's relentless barrage forces its mouth open for a long-range strike. He blasts the magic cannon into its mouth, shredding the inside. The turtle lifts its legs. Sen warns Theo's climbing out. Theo froze, the pit failed way too soon. But they had more plans. Alice and Layla stood ready. Layla refuses to hold Alice back. Alice snapped back, asking Layla who she thought she was talking to. They square up and unleash their signature moves. Together they unleash a massive X-slash. The strike slices the monster's front left leg, drawing blood. The girls ordered the turtle down. Its mangled leg turns the pit into its grave. The turtle slams back into the trap. Hyped by the win, Theo orders his men to keep firing, once reloaded. Cannons resume fire on the turtle. Finally, its patience snaps. It let out a thunderous roar. Sound readied his attack. Theo knew this was their moment. The turtle opens wide, charging a long-range blast. But it's aimed right at Alice and Layla. Disaster strikes. The oak misses the mouth, putting the girls right in the crosshairs. The girls felt the turtle's rage lock on. Alice hatches a plan. Leaps high, mocking the beast. She slams her blade into its chin. She yelled to grab its attention. Mouth exposed, Theo fires. Alice was right in the magic cannon's path. Alice vanishes. Theo gasped as Layla yanked her to safety. Alice's stunned Layla understood. Layla admits she feared a sacrificial strike. Theo fires. The magic cannon's blast is way more powerful than before. The earth dragon shot hit its mark. The turtle exploded from within with a deep boom. The beast slams down hard. Santa claims victory as the turtle falls. Theo and the village went wild. Allison and Layla tap hilts in respect. Santa's stunned, they took down a calamity-class monster. The O praises Sana's master plan. She praised her team. Theo asks for Allison and Layla, and Santa points to a rock where they're watching him. Thea is stunned by their movement, while Santa clocks their insane speed. Suddenly the turtle's eyes glow, it's still alive. It burst from the earth. Thiel's stunned, it tanked the magic cannon. Lala and Alice were stunned, it just wouldn't break. The turtle roars, fighting to escape the pit. Thea knew it was wary, its mouth would stay shut. It just rams the village with its mountain-sized bulk. Theo's wall held the village, but he knew it wouldn't last. Wall falls, soldiers die. The village is history. While the O's scramble, he spots debris shifting under the monster. He suddenly summons the Fenrirpups by name. They arrived instantly. They want a favor, handing notes to Luna and Asha. He has Silk carry him under the turtle. Sana asks the plan, but Theo puts her in charge while he's gone. He took Silk and left without a word. He ditched Sana, no puzzle in hand. Knew deep down he'd win. She finally saw why her leader trusted him. Alice shreds the giant turtle's leg with her heroic skills. Layla strikes another leg. They gave it everything, but barely left a scratch. Too slow, the turtle escapes the pitfall. Alice is fuming as the beast tanks every hit. Layla calls their strikes mosquito bites and demands another combo attack. Before they can react, the turtle locks on and lunges to devour them. But that wasn't the real goal. It unhinges its jaw, charging another blast. The girls realized the turtle was about to self-destruct and take them with it. Layla saw the turtle's trick, using its shell and region to shield its mouth from magic. Alice knew this crafty turtle was no pushover. Layla yanks Alice back. They had to bolt, she told Alice to cover her as. She hauled her away, Alice agreed, but doubted they'd escape in time. Theo interrupts, yelling for them to duck. He autocrafts a massive spear from the ground, skewering the turtle's chin. The turtle's energy erupts. Its mouth explodes, shredding itself. Theo cheerily shouts to the girls, checking if they're safe. Frustrated, the girls demand to know why Theo's on the front lines. The adamant turtle's too cautious now, making the magic cannon useless. He's found another way to win. Inspecting the beast. He told the girls to check the turtle's belly. They finally spot cracks in the shell. Theo knew the cannon cracked the shell. One massive strike to that weak spot would end the beast. Alice understood the assignment. Theo held her back. Alice was their ace, but even she couldn't shatter that spot solo. Othen reveals his master plan. Outline done. The girls see the risk to Theo. Alice realized they lacked the numbers to pull it off. Theoria told them not to worry, help is coming. Luna bursts in, apologizing for being late. Luna confirms the villagers are safe with Gorm. She loved Theo's genius letter, and he thanked her for showing up. Layla mocks Luna's weak fighting and questions her worth. Luna admitted her limits. She brought Sana for backup, and Theo's hyped. Santa grumbled about their rough treatment. Santa arrives, but Alice realizes they're still one short. The O promised the final piece was ready.